So I finally watched this Innocence of Muslims thing, and here's a little bit of my review on it. This film is utterly bizarre. Now, I honestly think that this might actually be the whole movie. It says it was a trailer for a longer film. I don't buy that, because to be really honest, the way this thing was shot, the way this thing was edited, it's like if every racist group in the world met up with David Lynch and said, we want to make a movie, this would be the result. This film's editing is horrible. You're literally taking cuts from scenes that take place a couple thousand years ago and instantaneously showing in the next shot today's world, you know? And it has kind of a decent budget in it. The opening of the film actually features a Humvee as a prop, like a real one, not a CG'd one, and it's actually shot on a real location, which isn't cheap to do. And then the rest of this piece of shit is shot on a green screen background. And obviously so, because they're trying to make it look like the guy is standing on sand or whatever. And you can clearly see that he's not even in the shot really whatsoever. It's just a fake background. But really, this kind of thing really kind of startles me, because I don't really think that this is the kind of catalyst for an embassy bombing. Considering that I didn't know this thing even existed, and hundreds of thousands of other people didn't know this thing existed, even before it was in the news, you know, I don't think that's it. When you're dealing with a region of the world that for the most part doesn't have internet access, and broadband internet access, because this thing is like 13 minutes long, and it even took a little bit to load, even on my connection, you know, it would take like hours for it to load up to even the really fucked up parts. The one thing I really want to rant about is the director of this horrifyingly racist, idiotic piece of shit. You're a fuck ass. You know, this guy didn't even tell half the people that were acting in this movie what the fuck it was about. There's a video that I can link down below that features one of the actresses for this movie speaking out about what it was like being on this. And she didn't even have any single clue what the fuck it was about prior to getting even on one of the sets for this thing. What the fuck? So, you want to take your bitterness and hatred towards the people out, do so on like a fucking internet forum, so people can flame you to death. Don't do something incredibly fucking stupid that has a repercussion on the outside world that is responsible for the death of one of my country's people and countless of other people in this fucking place. What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, Christ in fucking heaven. You know, not only is your understanding of history so preposterously wrong, it's just mind-boggling. I'd like to entertain this for a minute here. Did you know that fucking Palestine wasn't even a country back then? And it for sure as hell wasn't even called Palestine? Come on, man. Learn your fucking history. I'm not even a Muslim. I'm not even Islamic in any way, shape, or form. I'm actually a Christian, and I think that this is fucking stupid. I can understand why people would get mad about it, but I digress. I mean, going back to what I had said a few moments ago, do I think it's responsible for an embassy bombing? Fuck no. There's a lot of things that go down in those regions of the world that our news media never finds out about. You know, it's mainly for our country's national security that they wouldn't do that, because then on the home front they're like, oh my god, they're going to plan another attack, and everybody blows up about it and gets fucking crazy about it, and, you know, rate that Americans are willing to riot at the drop of a fucking hat for any good goddamn reason. We don't want that. So, you know, I think this might have been something that was premeditated, and even though it is kind of old news now, I mean, like, I had to watch this thing, and it's stupid. It's utterly fucking stupid. I mean, it's also, it's a bad movie, too. Like, if it was supposed to be a coherent film, you really fucking missed the ball on that one, because this was the most incoherent piece of shit ever. You know, it's basically like, oh my god, there's bad things like war and terrorism going on in the Middle East in the beginning, and in the middle of it, it's like, this guy's a real piece of shit, and we want you to understand that we think that he's a real piece of shit. And that's it. That's all it is. And I'm like, I'm watching this, by the time the film ends, it ends on the most ridiculously nonsensical note. I'm just like, what the hell did I watch? I'm like Captain Picard. I'm just like, oh, what? So, good luck in your career. I hope somebody kicks you in the balls for this.